Welcome back, sports fans, to Wilsonville High School. It is the semifinals of the OHSLA, the Oregon High School Lacrosse Association. The two semifinals tonight, we've already completed one of the semifinals, and that was an overtime victory for Lakeridge over West Lynn, 7-6, a goal about 10 seconds into the overtime by Lakeridge, got them that win. This is the second matchup, and it is Lake Oswego and Jesuit, ranked pretty much number 1 and number 2 in the state. Well, actually, I think Lake Oswego is ranked number 3. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Hall, back with play-by-play action. I'm joined in the broadcast booth by Dave Sanford, the head coach of the lacrosse program at Beaverton High School, and we're about getting ready to start this matchup. Dave, should be a good one.
Oh.
There you go.
Jesuit is stacked. There's no other way to look at it. Over 15 all-conference players on their roster. Lake Oswego second in Three Rivers Conference, where they split games with West Lynn and lost both games to Lakeridge. They are coming off a great win in the quarterfinals against Sunset, who is the 5th-ranked team. And we should have a good matchup on our hands. Face-offs will be an interesting point of emphasis in this next game coming up.
You mentioned that Jesuit has a player who gets about 80% control on the face-offs, and that would be?
His name's Luke Johnson. He is a sophomore, and small, quick, able to get the ball out and transition it to offense really quickly.
All right, who can we look forward to seeing in goal for these teams tonight?
Good question. We're going to get to the anthem in just a second here, so we're going to get cut off.
I don't think they're going to do the anthem again.
But for Jesuit, sophomore Brady Smith will be in the goal. He is first team all-conference from the Metro Conference. And
Please stand for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, we are going to have the national anthem, so we'll stick right here and then update you when we start at the end of the national anthem. All right, our national anthem. As we said, this is the second semifinal matchup. The winner of this game will play Lakeridge Saturday afternoon at 5:30, and we'll bring you that game here on Oregon Sports Beat. By the way, we're Oregon Sports Beat. You can go to our website, OregonSportsBeat.com. We have calendars up with what events we will be doing, when we will be doing the start times. So OregonSportsBeat.com will get you ready on that. We may do more than one game on Saturday. There is a Cascade Cup finals. That is the teams that finished in the lower portion of the league's playoff for a champion. Then there is a league all-star game. We may cover that too. And then we'll certainly cover the finals, which is at 5:30. And that will be back here at Wilsonville High School. Beautiful facility. First game was a great game. Lakeridge got off to a 5-2 lead going into the fourth. Scored a goal. Gave up 4 goals in the fourth. Tied it up at 6-6. And then that goal right into the first 10 seconds for Lakeridge, and that Gavin Sheehan, and that goal got him a hat trick. So he had a hat trick in that game. Aaron McCoy for Wesleyan scored 4 goals. Let's see who scores tonight for these two teams. Who should we watch, Dave? You've already said we should watch a lot of people for Jesuit.
A lot of people for Jesuit. Lake Oswego, Gavin McGuire is their first team all-conference attackman. His older brother is currently playing Division I lacrosse at Jacksonville. Calvin Macy, midfielder, number 12. He's a great athlete. He has multiple offers to play Division I football. He is definitely also a player to watch. Ethan Hecht, the best defender on the Laco squad, number 1. He is a first-team Three Rivers Conference player, and he will be going to play Division I lacrosse at Robert Morris outside of Pittsburgh. On the Jesuit side, again, I don't think we have enough time to tell the story of all these kids, but a couple that have particularly good stories. Bennett Smith, a senior captain, committed to D3 Babson College, is an All-American candidate and a Player of the Year nomination in Jesuit coach Bill Gleason's opinion, one of the strongest all-around midfielders in the state. Also, very exciting, Ben Wimmer, senior attackman, missing most of the season with a broken foot. He is returning to action. He's in his 3rd game. And another one to watch, sophomore attackman for Jesuit, Porter Malkiel, probably the best attackman in his graduating class on the West Coast. A lot of buzz on the creative play from him. Sun could be a little bit more of a factor in terms of crossfield passing right now. It's kind of tough up here in the booth.
LO in their navy jerseys with white trim. They will move from our left to our right. Jesuit, green and gold. They will move from our right to our left. Face-off controlled by Jesuit.
Bennett Smith with the ground ball.
The player that Dave was talking about to watch on face-offs for Jesuit, that's number 15, Luke Johnson. Here comes Lake Oswego. Quickly down the field towards the center. Knocked down.
Loose ball push, that'll be Lake Oswego ball. You're seeing a little bit of like the early game jitters like we did in the last semifinal. Some exchange passes that are often simple for players at this level can be a little challenging with the sun, and also just the jitters of being the semifinal game.
Sun may play a factor for about 15 minutes, and then it'll be down. So Lake Oswego with the ball. Hard shot and a goal. Lakers break on top.
Calvin Macy with the dodge. Gunnar Olson, sophomore, catch and shoot on the throwback. Jesuit trailing in-state possibly for the first time this year.
11:05 the time on that, less than a minute. Gunnar Olson for Lake Oswego, and they lead 1-0.
This Lake Oswego team is young, they're scrappy.
Olson, number 35, with that goal. Here's our face-off. Let's see if Johnson controls it. Flips it back and still on the ground. Now picked up by Jesuit.
Another big ground ball scrum though. Nobody coming out of that clean. That's Mike Rincon coming up with the GB.
Wow, nice block by Lake Oswego, and they control the ball. Do you think that early goal surprised Jesuit?
I think it did. Jesuit right now is just in what they call a 10-man ride, where the goalie comes out and guards somebody. If you're not prepared for it, it can be hard to play against. Couple of turnovers from Jesuit, uncharacteristic. They're a very strong team, a very well-coached team. How do they face adversity? If they face adversity, that's something we don't know yet.
Picked up, lost, picked back up by Lake Oswego. Now Jesuit has it. Did Jesuit lose a game during the season?
Jesuit lost one game out of state against a team from California, which I'm forgetting the name of, to be completely honest, but a similar prep school in the San Francisco area. And that was a 1-goal game they lost in overtime. They have not had a close game in quite some time. They've played numerous out-of-state competition. They are ranked nationally on the lax numbers ratings. Again, the question is, that stuff is all well and good, but gutsy play is what can win these kind of games. Lake Ridge showed you that half an hour ago, pulling that victory out against West Lynn. Lake Oswego has shown that they've come to play.
In Lake Ridge, everything seemed to be going wrong. And when they finally got the chance, they righted it all. 1-0, our score here. Lake Oswego scored less than a minute into the first quarter. The goal by Gunnar Olson. Great name, Gunnar. Lake Oswego with the ball again.
Calvin Macy on the dodge, passes off target, turnover, Jesuit ball.
Here comes Jesuit. Shot hard, and that's a goal. Boy, shot that right in the low corner, low outside corner.
Goal, Jesuit, number 23, Porter Malkiel.
Porter Malkiel on the goal right there, from distance.
Porter Malkiel, number 23, with the Jesuit goal. The time on that goal, 9:27. And we're tied at 1. There's the draw. Controlled by Jesuit. Johnson to scoop that in. There's another hard shot. Blocked that time. We have a player down. Face down. Let's see if he gets up.
Not quite sure. I think that shot hit him.
It did. It hit him on his body somewhere, and he's down. Had to hurt. I'll wait till we get a number on that to tell you who that is. All the players are waiting. To recap where we are, Gunnar Olson scored at 11:05 for Lake Oswego. That was a 1-0 lead. Porter McKeel scored at 9:27. The follow-up goal for Jesuit. We're tied at 1-1.
Porter's dad was a Division I lacrosse player at Princeton.
Oh.
In an interesting story, he played with the guy that started Warrior Lacrosse, which is one of the big equipment brands, and also with a guy named David Singer, who is the best player on my high school team, in 6 degrees of separation. He is up.
Number 8.
Leaving the field under his own power.
Jordan Phillips, a midfielder. I grew up in Ohio. I tell my friends all the time, it's one of the trivia things that surprises them. I ask them, most famous football player ever in Ohio is Jim Brown, who played for the Cleveland Browns. He was an All-American in 2 sports at Syracuse.
Yep.
The other sport was lacrosse. Right, 1-1, we're just about ready to go back to action. Ella with the ball. One our score. Lake Oswego with the ball. They scored first.
One thing you'll notice here, Jesuit's defense comes much farther out and applies more pressure than the Westland and Lake Ridge defenses did in the previous game. We're not going to see a game played at that slow of a half-field tempo here.
Good observation. The minute you said that, I looked down, I can see it.
Yeah.
Lake Oswego. Boy, that goal by Jesuit by McKeel, that was a pretty goal. Just bent down, put it in the low right corner. Picked up, Jesuit with the ball, they come forward. Right in front, a shot, a goal.
It's Jack Duncan Bloom on the finish, a midfielder converted to attack earlier this year. And during the regular season, the leading goal scorer in the Metro Conference.
7:58 the time on that goal.
Jesuit transition is hard to stop.
The goal by number 12, Jack Duncan Bloom.
Janet Dale, please come down for scorekeepers.
2-1 Jesuit. Scored the last two goals. They have the ball again. Back behind the net. Crusaders right in front, gets a shot away. Is that a goal?
Yep.
Yep, that's a goal.
Jack Duncan Bloom again.
Slipped around on the left side of the goal, just enough room there for him to put it in the net.
Assisted by number 19, Ben Wimmer.
What's the time on that, Dave?
7 minutes and 26 seconds to go in the first quarter.
32 seconds after he scored, Duncan Bloom with another goal.
Assist to Ben Wimmer right there. And this is what Jesuit can do to you when they're winning faceoffs and their offense is moving with tempo. They can put up a lot of goals in a hurry.
Johnson gets that face off again. Well, he's gotten the last three pretty easily. Here he comes.
Yeah.
You were mentioning earlier, Dave, and I just took a look. Look how many substitutes are over there for Jesuit.
Yeah, they've got about 40 guys on the varsity roster. Probably the guys who are the bottom of that roster are starting on a lot of the teams in Oregon. They have an amazing level of competition in practice every day.
Low shot in the net. Kind of swung around, put it down low.
Ben Wimmer right there.
Ben Wimmer on the goal. The time on that, 6:36. It's now 4-1.
So if after Lake Oswego got off to an early lead, we wondered how Jesuit would respond. They have clearly responded, showing that they are, at this moment, in control of this game.
4 straight goals for the Crusaders. Another face-off. See if Johnson gets this one. Ball still loose on the ground. Pile now at midfield. rolls loose. Jesuit can't save it. Goes out. It's going to be Lakers ball.
So right there, the Jesuit player boxed out. Lake Oswego player on his back. Referee did not award the push in the back call. Instead, calling the ball out on Jesuit.
4-1. First quarter action. Winner gets Lake Ridge.
Lake Oswego's earlier offensive possession seemed a little crisper in terms of ball flow.
Jesuit sure puts the defense out deep. Look at that. Great switch job on defense that time. Lakers still with the ball in the middle. Double teamed. Ball goes back behind the net. It'll be Jesuit ball.
Had an open man there. Tough to make that pass if you're not getting your hands free from your defender before you're trying to make it down.
In goal for the Crusaders, it's number 34, Brady Smith, first team all-conference. In goal for Lake Oswego, you see here.
Bond Barnett.
Yes, number 7, Bond Barnett, and he's a senior.
And that's a hat trick for Jack Duncan Bloom.
Another goal, Jack Duncan Bloom. 3 of the last 4 goals by Jack.
As we've talked about all of the players on all of these teams that are going on to play at the next level, Jack Duncan Bloom uncommitted at this time.
Certainly, there's somebody here watching him tonight. Bloom with a hat trick already in the first quarter. Jesuit with the lead, 5-1. 5 straight goals by Crusaders. Control the draw again. All these possessions off the draw are just overwhelming. That shot blocked. Barnett blocked that down low for the Lakers.
And there's a big goal from Lake Oswego.
Lakers with a goal. And the goal for Lake Oswego, it's number 16, and that is Alex Kamalian. Time on that goal, 4:06, so it's now 5-2.
He's a junior, undersized, taking a step towards the middle, taking a big hit to finish there. It's a big play for Lake Oswego. Can they string a couple of these together so that they can stay in this game?
Face-off controlled by Johnson. Right down the middle, dishes it off. There's a shot, goal. Just that easy. Second goal of the game for Porter McKeel.
You're seeing the struggle of the Lake Oswego defense to stop the Jesuit transition. When they're sliding upfield to try to take the ball out of Malkiel's stick and not let him shoot, they have Jack Duncan Bloom finishing underneath. When they don't get out to Malkiel, he can shoot from range. And then they've also got Ben Wimmer to contend with. 3
goals for Duncan Bloom, 2 goals for McKeel, and 1 goal for Wimmer. That's the 6th. Lake Oswego loses the ball. Here comes Jesuit. Crusaders lead 6-2. Good interior defense that time by the Lakers. Crusaders not able to get a shot away.
Christian Buck initiating offense there, another sophomore for Jesuit, and his bouncer finds the mark.
That's a goal. Jesuit with a goal. Did you see who got that?
Christian Buck.
3:02 the time on that. 7-2. Christian Bach, number 2. Christian Bach, I'm sorry. Ball still loose, ground ball picked up. Now it's loose again, picked up by Lake Oswego. Another big collision. We're under 3 minutes to go. First quarter, Jesuit leads 7-2. Down the middle, the shot. That is a goal. Another Crusader goal. Came right in front, let it loose, and win the net.
Goal, Jesuit, number 22, Matt Rankin.
Number 22, Matt Rinkin.
Rincon, I think is how you pronounce his name. He
Rincon.
was originally committed to Bellarmine and has switched and will be headed to play his college lacrosse at Holy Cross in Pennsylvania. Jesuit loves to run that weave, and middies get to the middle of the field with their hands free. It's going to be trouble.
Rincon with the goal. Jesuit with the lead at 7-2. That's 7 first quarter goals.
Gavin McGuire makes the extra pass.
And it's a goal for Lake Oswego.
Number 16, Alex Caroline.
On the goal, number 16, Alex Kamalian. That's his second goal. Lake Oswego with 3 goals here in the first quarter. That might sound good, but Jesuit has 7 or 8.
8.
1:56 the time left here. By the way, that's 11 goals here in the first period. Jesuit with the ball and the lead. Around the outside, back behind the net. They rotate. Out front, a hard shot, blocked right in front, ball loose, and that's a goal over the top of the goalie. Kind of scrambled around, ball came loose, shot it over the top of the goalie.
Bennett Smith right there.
Who's that on the goalie? Goal.
Number 1, Bennett Smith.
Ah.
Goal comes with 1 minute and 5 seconds left in the first quarter.
105, Bennett Smith on the goal, 9-3. Look how many different players have scored for Jesuit here in the first period. I mean, Duncan Bloom has a hat trick, and McKeel has 2, but the rest of the goals spread around. Face off. Scooped up. Johnson fell down and was scooped up. A whistle. Jesuit ball.
Shot off the post there.
Nice spin move to get the ball free. Reverse the field. Here comes number 1 downfield for Lake Oswego. It's Ethan Hecht. He'll come out. 9-3 our score. Shot high over the net.
Lake Oswego maintains possession on the run out.
Lakers trying to get a goal before the first quarter ends. There's the horn. That's the end of the first quarter here at Wilsonville High School. Second semifinal in the OHSLA lacrosse action. And at the end of one, it is Jesuit 9, Lake Oswego 3. Dave?
Jesuit obviously can put a lot of points on the board in a hurry. Lake Oswego with 3 goals in the first quarter. That might be more points than anybody has scored against Jesuit in a while. The big thing to slow down the scoring is face-off and wing play and stopping that Jesuit fast break. Lake Oswego's been playing the face-offs pretty straight up, competing hard on the ground balls, and the instances that Johnson isn't winning the ball out clean to himself. They need to come up with some kind of strategy to slow that breakdown. That's going to be a big thing. Their efficiency of scoring, if you break down Jesuit's time of possession and Lake Oswego's time of possession, efficiency of scoring is probably relatively equal here, but time of possession is not equal at all, and that's the difference in this game.
It's all those face-offs they've won. It's all those when they've come forward and the defense hasn't gotten back in time and they wind up and let it fly.
Another thing that's kind of interesting here is we're getting pretty deep into the twilight hour, getting past 8:30. Sun is almost behind the school, and the lights were not on, and the lights literally just came on.
I see that.
So it's gotten a little worried there for a minute.
Right, we're going to start the second quarter. Lake Oswego will move from our right to our left. Jesuit from our left to our right.
There's a delay. Something's being picked up off of the field. Can't really tell exactly what it is from here.
Ethan Hecht will do the draw for Lake Oswego.
Yeah, this is more what I think the answer is to trying to contain that fast break. Either having a pull on the face-off where you can challenge him right away and make it difficult for him to get the ball to someone else, or to try to play a more physical game.
Johnson wins it, heads it right down in front.
He's got to step in front of him on that draw and force him to take a rear exit instead of winning it forward, though.
Out around the outside. Crusaders with the ball and the lead at 9-3. Crusaders behind the net. In front, a shot up high, blocked.
Save and a ground ball for Ben Wimmer. Jesuit retains possession.
Nice block that time by Bond Barnett. On the outside, shot up high, blocked. No, I'm sorry, that went in.
Hit the crossbar and the pipe and then went in.
I saw it bounce. I saw Barnett had his stick up, but it bounced and went in.
Pretty offense from Jesuit, playing as a team, making the extra pass. Ben Wimmer on the finish there.
10:37 the time on that goal in the second quarter. Ben Wimmer with the goal. That's his second.
You see a lot of selfless offense out of the Jesuit team.
Johnson controls another face-off. Shot down low. And that goes in. It goes underneath the goalie. It goes in.
His fourth. Jack Duncan Bloom on the goal right there.
Number 4 for Jack Duncan Bloom. And we're only just starting the second quarter. "13 seconds apart on those two goals."
Carson Jess now taking a face-off for Jesuit. It's their second string face-off man, also second team all-conference in the Metro Conference.
Wins that. There he comes forward. "11-3 Jesuit." Hard shot. Deflected that time. Jesuit with the ball. Crusaders around the outside. Ball loose. Scooped up by the Crusaders.
Jesuit tenacious on the ground balls.
Kind of a spin move in a shot that time.
Little razzle-dazzle from Bennett Smith.
Came across the goal mouth, spun around and shot it. Skipped that ball, went wide left.
Shot out of bounds. Jesuit retains possession. 8:41 to go, second quarter. If you're just joining us, Jesuit 11, Lake Oswego 3. Second semifinal. Live at Wilsonville High School, outside of Portland, Oregon.
Dave, Jesuit goaltender up at midfield. What's the strategy on that?
So if they lose the ball, they will go into what's called a 10-man ride. where everyone on their team will pressure someone, including pressuring the goalie.
Another goal.
It is also possible that he's just coming up there to talk to someone because he's lonely.
You know who got that goal?
I'm going to
Jack
bet
Duncan
$1 on
Bloom.
Jack Duncan Bloom.
He did.
Is that 5?
That's 5. Do a lot of teams employ that strategy, bringing the goalie up like that?
I've seen it more at the college level this year. You don't see it that much at the high school level. Lake Ridge has run it from time to time. You know, like the strategy to counter it is to shoot the ball from distance, or to put the ball over everybody and create a track meet kind of situation between your attackman and the other team's defenseman. Rare turnover there from Jesuit. Ball comes back the other way.
Goalie gets up like that if you can launch it over him and get it in the net.
Yep. A lot of times teams will take a long shot and then try and run the ball out to maintain possession that way. But so they're in the 10-man ride right now. He's kind of, his head's on a swivel between his attacker, who he's guarding, and the goal. But you can see how much harder this makes it to get the ball over the midfield line in those first 20 seconds, and there's a failure to advance call against Lake Oswego.
That'll turn the ball over to Jesuit. They lead 12-3. Is there a continuous clock rule in this action?
There is no mercy rule running time clock in the playoff games.
Ah, okay.
So
regular season games, I had a couple of those.
Yes, regular season games there would be. There's a takeaway. I didn't hear a whistle. There's a flag down.
Regular season, if you're ahead by 10 starting the second half, the clock runs. So it's 12-3. 5 goals for Jack Duncan Bloom. Lake Oswego trails 12-3. Right, Lake Oswego with the ball. They've given up 5 straight goals.
Jesuit still applying a good amount of pressure, man down. They killed a penalty. There's a good take and a goal.
Lake Oswego goal. Nolan Rabb with the goal. .629 the time on that. So 12-4, face off. That controlled by Jesuit. And just that quick, Jesuit comes right back down and scores. And that goal, I believe is by Porter McKeel, and that's a hat trick for him.
You can see a real big difference in the body language after the goal. Jesuit, all 6 players on the field coming together to celebrate together as a team. The Lake Oswego defense, heads are down, walking away in their own directions.
6:16 the time on that goal. 17 goals in this game now, 13 of them by Jesuit. Duncan Bloom has 5. McKeel has 3. What's the most goals you've seen somebody score in a game individually?
I think there was an incident in a college game a couple of years ago where somebody actually scored 50 in a Division III college game. Old school kind of way of thinking is that if you're winning by a considerable amount, you know, you don't put 20 on the board, you stop at 19. That has not been the case for Jesuit this year. And, you know, like I guess they're slowing down. They've had 9 in the first quarter, right?
Right.
And 5 in the second quarter.
5:38 the time on that goal. The reason I ask you that question is because Duncan Bloom had 5. He's now got 6. Put that one in. He had 3 the first quarter, 3 this quarter. He's got 6 for the game. The score is 14-4. Remember, this is a semifinal game. Winner of this game will play Lake Ridge for the state championship. Lakers with the ball.
It's a nice stick check there from Mike Rincon. Ball will stay with Lake Oswego. When a player is on the ground, you're allowed to check a stick. You're not allowed to make contact with his body. Rincon very precise with the stick check there to get the ball out of McGuire's stick while he was on the ground without touching him. Nice feed and a great save there from Brady Smith. Jesuit defender runs in and out of the crease, which is going to give the ball back to Lake Oswego. 4:47 remaining second quarter, 14-4 the score. Jesuit in control of this semifinal contest. Tough shot there. Rebound McGuire. He shoots. Shots off target. Lake Oswego doesn't have the backup. Love the hustle. You see 3 Jesuit players selling out, trying to back that shot up.
Lakers with the ball. High shot. Still up in the air, picked up by Lake Oswego, quickly forward, right in front. A shot and a score. Boy, just picked that ball up, got it in front, and the shot and the score.
Goal, Lake Oswego, number 2, Mason Fish.
Mason Fish, number 2, with the goal. Cuts the lead to 9. 4:20.
Gotta love the scrappy play out of Lake Oswego's offense. They are not backing down.
4:20 the time on that goal, 14-5. Jesuit has outscored Lake Oswego here in the second quarter, 5-2.
That's Jackson Nichols on the shot there. Jesuit retains possession.
Jesuit with the ball and the lead, 14-5.
Jesuit's offense has really been dominant this year. The architect of that offense is their offensive coordinator, Michael Marcotte. Marcotte, coincidentally, before coming to Jesuit, was the head coach at Lake Oswego, where he led Lake Oswego to a state championship before COVID.
That's the one I did.
Yep.
My recollection is that they played Lake Ridge.
Crazy comeback game.
Crusaders still with the ball. Way out high on top. Inside. There's a shot from the left. Tried to dink that one over the top of the goalie. Was able to get a stick on it. Just came down, jumped up in the air, and tried to get it over the top of the goalie's head.
They take a long shot against the 10-man ride. Shot misses.
Wow.
And the run out goes to Jesuit.
Crusaders on the left wing, spins around, shoots it low, goes wide.
We got a flag down.
We have a, what's the call here?
Offsides.
Okay. The flag is out here at midfield, picked up.
Yep. One of the Lake Oswego attackmen went over the midfield line when they were riding. 30-second man advantage for Jesuit.
Went over the, I heard him call that over the weekend, the resistance line.
Yeah, that I have never heard before.
Ball loose. Battered around.
Over and back play.
Yep. It will be Laker ball. Here they come.
Yep.
21 there. That's Brooks Olson.
Timeout, Lake Oswego.
Timeout, Lake Oswego. 14-5, minute 30 to go, first half.
14-5. Jesuit leads. Just have minute 05 to go.
Minute 30.
Minute 30. Thanks for joining us here at Wilsonville High School. This is the second of two semifinals. Lake Oswego beat Westland in the first, 7-6 in overtime. We're just about to halftime here where Jesuit leads this one 14-5. Friday or Saturday night, 5:30 is the start time for the championship game. We'll be here. Oregon Sports Beat will cover that.
And at this point, that looks like a Jesuit Lake Ridge matchup. Are we allowed to say that yet?
You're allowed to say that, and it looks that way. The problem is, if something happens and the Lakers come back and win, then you don't look so good anymore. But just watching the level of play and the style of play, I think it's going to be hard for the Lakers to come back in this game.
The other thing that's interesting to look at, though, Jesuit has a great, dominant senior class. And a lot of the Lake Oswego players who are getting a lot of field time are sophomores. And, you can kind of see it when you're just looking at them. They're definitely a little bit smaller than, than some of the other guys. But there are a lot more freshmen and sophomores on this roster than there are juniors and seniors. And, they're definitely progressing in the right direction. Playing a nice, gritty brand of lacrosse.
Lake Oswego with the ball. Under a minute here to go in the first half. Whistle. Possession goes to Jesuit. Quickly.
Nice pace of play, getting into the offensive zone quickly. Ben Wimmer settles it down now.
Spin move. Now back behind the net. There's a shot. Ball goes all the way back out to midfield. Jesuit wants to take a timeout.
Jesuit.
Go ahead.
The Jesuit calls timeout with 11 seconds left on the clock.
Not sure, but they lead 14-5 with 11 seconds to go, and they took a timeout. They must be setting up a specific play.
There's two different kind of coaching trains of thought here. Like, one of them is you can only practice that play to execute in 10 seconds when you have 10 seconds to execute it. So you still want to take advantage of that situation, even if, like you are not in a close game situation. And I can buy into that. Like, I've seen the same kind of thing, like on the being on the losing end, where you try to run your last second play so that if you're going to need to run it successfully when it matters, you can. The flip side of that is you're up by 9. Might be a good time to just go to halftime.
Well, and I get your point on all that. You designed some play to score in 10 seconds. Now you got the opportunity to try that play. Why not go try it?
Yep. So let's see what head coach Bill Gleason and offensive coordinator Mike Marcotte have drawn up here.
Well, they're set.
Lake Oswego is pressing out. Going to try and make this a one-on-one between Jack Duncan Bloom and Ethan Hecht.
Here we go. Crusaders. Inside. Shot high over the top of the net.
Backbreaker. Yes, we talk about the different perspectives on whether you take that shot at that point or not. Like, literally 3 different coaches just blew up my phone. Surely with 3 different opinions.
Probably. Well.
Yeah, it's a great half from a very aggressive Jesuit team. And, also it's a good scrappy effort from Lake Oswego.
That's it. That's the horn. That's the end of the first half. Our score, it is Jesuit 14, Lake Oswego 5. Crusaders outscore Lake Oswego 5-2 in that second quarter after Jesuit got 9 in the first quarter. Jack Duncan Bloom with 6 goals. Porter McKeel has a hat trick. Those are the big scores for the Crusaders. Dave, your thoughts about the first half?
Jesuit kind of looks like we expected them to look, I think. if I was gonna say one thing about that where I might be a little surprised, I've heard so much about Brady Smith. Haven't really seen him play in a game where he's seeing a lot of shots, and Laco managed to get a few on him. On the other side, Lake Oswego had a really gritty victory against West Lynn. They were dominant against Sunset last week. What they were succeeding in doing there, they're not succeeding in doing here. In Jesuit, you find a very driven, very focused team. They have one mission in mind, and that is to get through the weekend without losing. And I wouldn't expect to see any let up from them in the second half.
All right, both teams in the corner talking about their strategy for the second half. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with a couple of minutes to go before the start of the second half. Our score here at Wilsonville High School in semifinal action at halftime, it is Jesuit 14, Lake Oswego 5. Welcome back to Wilsonville High School, site of the OHSLA semifinal action. First semifinal was won by Lake Ridge over Westland 7-6. In this one, we are at halftime, and Jesuit leads Lake Oswego 14-5 behind Jack Duncan Bloom's 6 goals. And I'm Dave Hall along with Dave Sanford. And Dave, the second half, do you look for kind of a repeat of the first half?
There's a couple things in play here. Lake Oswego has to try something different if they want to try and get back in this game. Again, their efficiency of offensive possession is not bad. So for them, it's figuring out how to have more offensive possession. What I've been really impressed by as we've gone through this halftime is the body language and the posture of the Jesuit team. While Coach Gleason was addressing them, they were all in lines on one knee, completely focused on him. They've come out, they've been partner passing, again, in lines, very organized. They do not have the body language of a team that thinks that they have the second half off. They have the body language of a team that's ready to come out and do more work. I don't expect them to let up at all. The question is, how will Lake Oswego fight back from the position that they're in?
Exactly. Confidence and emotion. You know, I remember I was a basketball player in high school. I remember a game. We were playing the number 1 ranked team in the state, and we were like 500. We were middle of the pack. I remember going down in the locker room. The coach came down there, and the first thing he said was, you know, you can beat these guys. And I thought, you know, maybe we can.
So,
he thinks we can. Maybe we can.
So did you?
No. We employed a strategy, though, and his strategy was don't shoot. This was before the days of the shot clock. We held the ball for long periods of time. We wound up losing him 16-12. That was a basketball game.
I remember an ACC basketball game like that when Michael Jordan was playing. Interesting change there on the face-off. Lake Oswego comes out with poles on both wings. Jesuit still wins the face-off, but with a little bit of pressure, throws the ball out of bounds. Lake Oswego has the first possession of the half if they can clear.
14-5, we're just underway, third quarter action.
Jesuit is in their 10-man ride.
Goalie is up.
Yep, goal is open. Lake Oswego takes the shot. It goes over the goal. And it's Jesuit ball.
Launch that one.
One thing that they're like shooting it as hard as they can. Whenever playing against a 10-man ride, I find it easier to, like, I prefer lobbing that ball up there. We're going to have an offsides call here, I think, against Lake Oswego. But prefer lobbing that ball up there because it gives your attackman a better chance to run it out.
Do you know what a trebuchet is? It's the French equivalent of a catapult. When they wind up and throw that ball the length of the field, it's what it looks like to me, a catapult. I'm a history major from college.
Refs are waving that flag off. I thought that I saw another player on sides for Lake Oswego, but I didn't want to say anything. Referees, another sign of good officials, you know, they talk it out, get the call right.
They threw
That's
that
a great
one.
run to the end line. They give that one to Jesuit as well.
Lake Oswego, when they do that, one, they'd like to see the ball go in the net. Two, they'd like to get back and get that ball before, or get close to that ball before it went out and get possession, but not so fortunate that time.
Before the high school team that I coached played Jesuit, we had a couple of different things we were practicing to go against a 10-man ride. One of them was basically a draw play where we spread out the middle of the field and our goalie was going to run up and shoot it from about the 50-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one involves our attackman kind of lining up like on the hash on the 45-yard line and running out patterns and lobbing the ball over, putting them in a track meet situation.
Great idea.
Jesuit did not use the 10-man ride against us, and so we did not get to try either of these things, but it was fun to practice.
Third quarter action, we're just underway. 14-5, Jesuit leads. It was 9-3 at 1, 14-5 at half.
Bennett Smith right down the gut, unassisted.
There's the goal. Number 1, Bennett Smith. I was looking, I thought he had a goal early. Yes, he did. He had one to end the first half. The time on that goal, Dave?
10:09.
10:09, and it is 15-5.
16-5.
I'm sorry.
Scoreboard is not in perfect sight for us here.
Are you sure? Because I show
Scoreboard says 16-5.
16-5, okay.
Yep. We've got illegal procedure on Jesuit, Lake Oswego ball.
What does the legal procedure mean in lacrosse?
Might have moved too early. His stick might have been tilted too far forward. Somebody's foot could have been on a line it's not supposed to be on. A lot of different technical things.
There's a shot and a goal. Just came right down, dished it off on the right side and put it in the net. The goal by number 19, Ben Wimmer, his second. So goals by Smith and Wimmer, and it is 17-5. There's the draw. And controlled.
Great physicality on the face-off. Jesuit comes up with it, streaking in.
Quickly, right in the middle and right in front. Jesuit won that face-off and came right down the middle as quick as they could and got a shot away. Still with the ball. Skips it low and wide left. Lake Oswego with the stop. They'll start up. Out to midfield and taken away by Jesuit. They come right down towards the middle again. That's a goal.
Assisted by number 19, Ben Wimmer.
Wimmer comes right back with another goal. He now has a hat trick. So 6 goals for Duncan Bloom, 3 goals for McKeel, 3 goals for Ben Wimmer. And it's 18-5. Kick that back, picked up by Jesuit. Look how quickly they're coming down towards the middle. They create all that confusion in the middle right off the bat.
27, Ben Lewis there, pushing that transition play. Committed to Colorado College. Has moved into more of a defensive midfielder role on this Jesuit team this year after kind of going through his youth days as a dominant offensive player. Bennett Smith with another one right there.
And that's a hat trick for Smith. 19-5. You know, who would have thought 20 years ago kids could get a scholarship to great schools to play lacrosse, get their college education paid for playing lacrosse? And I don't mean it's some Division III school. I mean, at Princeton and Maryland and all those places.
Most of the top D1 programs have at least one Oregon kid on their roster at this point. And watching the college games, the announcers on the ESPN games love the Oregon players. They are hyping up Oregon Lacrosse and the Oregon Trail and so much. And for a city in what is considered a non-traditional area for lacrosse, we've had a great amount of success, at the highest level. Our biggest challenges right now are to keep growing at the lower levels, to get more sticks into hands of youth players, to get more public school programs happening, to have as many teams involved as we need to gain proper OSAA sanctioning. There's a ridiculous shot right there.
Goalie got a stick up, went high, went in. Who got that goal?
Ben Wimmer.
Wow, three goals just here in the third quarter for number 19, Ben Wimmer.
And to answer the question as to whether the mercy rule and running time is applied in the playoffs, the answer is yes. 15-goal differential, and the clock is running. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. 20-5 Jesuit.
What that means is the ball goes out, they score a goal, there's a stoppage, the clock keeps running. Frankly, I think it's a good rule.
I think it's a good rule.
Especially in sports like football and basketball. Although Lake Oswego continues to fight, 20-5 is our score. During the regular season, that mercy rule is 10 to start the second half. Quickly, Lake Oswego right in front, shoots hard, blocked. Timeout. Lake Oswego take that timeout?
Yes. Protecting the possession, seemingly the first one they've had in a while.
Right. We're in the middle of the third quarter. Our score, it was 14-5 at halftime. It's now 20-5.
Thanks to everyone for tuning in. If you are watching from a faraway place, please put something in the comments on the YouTube page. We'd love to hear from you. If you're an alumni of either of these schools, if you are new to the game and someone just coaxed you into watching this and you're loving what you're seeing, we want to hear from you, so do not hesitate to drop us a line.
Lots of parents watch these games. Lots of grandparents watch these games. We've had people who contacted us from England, people who contacted us from all over the East Coast. South America too, yeah. I hope you love what you're seeing, and we love doing it. This is actually my 41st year doing high school sports.
That's amazing.
I started out doing football for Tillamook High School.
So 40 years ago, how were they doing these? Because you obviously weren't streaming them 40 years ago. Was it on TV?
I figured out I've probably done 1,000 games. Probably 75% of those were on the radio. So yeah, we did radio. Radio was a little box you carried around, had a phone in, a couple of microphones. Now you can see our equipment we got here. We got cables stretched everywhere. It's a different world, but What's the rule on high stick? I just saw somebody with a high stick then and got away with it.
It's not a penalty to have, like a high stick is not a penalty. You're not allowed to hit somebody in the head. But, you know, if it kind of just brushes against somebody's helmet, you're generally not going to get a call. If you swing the stick and it comes down on somebody's helmet, you're going to get a slashing call.
Ball off to the left side that time.
Box lacrosse, there's actually a high sticking penalty. Field lacrosse, there's not.
There's a shot blocked.
Good slide there from Ben Lewis. Bringing the heat on Carson McGuire. Looks like defensively Jesuit is starting to get a little deeper into their bench here.
Is everybody from Jesuit on their bench? I mean, it looks like the whole school is on the bench.
They have, Jesuit has 3 teams, a varsity, a JV, and a JV2. I think a total of about 100 kids playing.
I mean, Lake Oswego has a lot of kids over there. I'm used to doing PIL and Mounted Conference games. I don't see that many kids. You know, some teams have 3 or 4 kids standing on the line. Lake Oswego has a lot, but they certainly don't have as many as Jesuit.
What you'll see a lot of times too later in the year is teams will let the upper half of their JV players, their JV squads dress for the playoff game so they can get a sense of what the atmosphere is like. You just saw a brush on the helmet, kind of like what we were talking about. Actually watched the referee put his hand in his pocket and then decide to not pull the hanky out, which is a call I would agree with.
Shot.
No harm in that play. Ground ball from Ben Lewis, head up, big outlet pass to Bennett Smith. Lake Oswego D. Mitty does a great job cutting in to cut off the fast break.
Great save by Nias that last time. Tried to bounce the ball in front of him and he blocked it. Jesuit down. They'll keep control. Back in front. Turns inside, dishes off. Can't get a shot away. Now gets a shot away, and there's a goal. Just shot that so hard it went right by the goalie.
Saw like 3 great hitch and go moves from the Jesuit players there. Jack Duncan Bloom, I think, scoring his 8th goal of the game.
7.
Took a late hit as well. No call on the officials, seems to be okay.
7 goals in the game for Jack Duncan Bloom. He shot that ball so hard the goalie didn't have a chance. Here's the draw. And a whistle.
Ball awarded to Lake Oswego. Short time, 12 seconds in the period. We're on a running clock, so they've got to go quick.
Lakers with the ball,
yep.
Pressured.
Being super aggressive. That's Jackson Nichols on the ball.
And there's the horn. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. Lake Oswego did not score in that quarter. 7 goals for Jesuit. So at the end of 3, our score is Jesuit 21, Lake Oswego 5.
Jesuit coming out, proving they are the more dominant team today. Guessing that they would go deeper into their bench in the 4th quarter here. Definitely don't want to see any of their starting players getting hurt in the 4th quarter of a 21-5 game on the eve of their potential first championship. That said,
We'll continue to have a running clock. "12-minute final quarter, 21-5 our score.
we have Gavin Pope in the game on attack now. Jack Duncan Bloom in the game.
He has 7 goals.
And
What you looking for? Which number?
32 for
Four.
Jesuit.
Okay, they have a bunch of players they don't have numbers for, but let me see. 32 is Chris Kaminsky. Does that sound right?
Yep.
Okay.
He'll be playing Division III lacrosse at Southwestern University in Texas.
Fourth quarter underway with a running clock, 21-5, Jesuit leads. Oh, there we go. We turned the light on.
Hey. Big battle for the ground ball. Lake Oswego comes up with a face-off. Ethan Hecht under pressure.
Does a good job of controlling the ball.
Ref is saying he stepped on the line. Not sure the crowd likes that call.
I'm not sure I like that call. Here comes Lake Oswego forward. I'm sorry, Jesuit forward with the ball.
Gavin Pope, number 4, has checked in on attack for Jesuit. He'll be at Colorado College in a couple of years. Christian Buck with the ball now and initiating on Ethan Hecht.
Buck has a goal in the game too. Ball loose, picked up. Ground ball saved by Jesuit. Back behind the net. Scoring by quarters for Jesuit. 9, 5, and 7. For Lake Oswego, 3, 2, and 0.
Shot by Christian Buck, saved. Turnover on the clear. Ball back to Jesuit. Quick counterattack. Christian Buck from distance, saved again. Nice outlet. Lake Oswego brings it into the offensive zone.
Lake Oswego guarded deep by the Crusaders. Now turn and send it forward.
Great hustle there from Hudson Lewis on defense.
Ball loose on the ground. Lake Oswego with the ball. No, I'm sorry. Jesuit with the ball. Jesuit moving from our left to our right. Lake Oswego from our right to our left. Jesuit with the ball. Crusaders behind the net. Right in front. Turns a shot and a goal.
Gavin Pope unassisted.
Goal, Jesuit, number 4, Gavin Pope.
Number 4, Gavin Pope, his first goal of the game.
He was a starter through a good portion of the year, filling the spot for the injured Ben Wimmer. And
He was second team all conference. I want to say at least 25 goals through the regular season.
Wow.
Really just demonstrates the depth of this Jesuit squad. Got Jackson Nichols on the near wing on the faceoff.
Scooped up.
Carson Jess on the ground ball.
Jesuit with the ball. 21-5 our score. Crusaders lead. Spin move. And they'll send it back out on top.
Number 5 for Jesuit, Ryan Jack, son of assistant coach Adam Jack, in the game now. With the ball behind. Guarded by the short stick. Ball goes back through X. Up the other side.
Crusaders running their offense. And that picked up, scooped up by Lake Oswego. Taken away by Jesuit. Down the left side, back behind the net. Hard shot. And that's a goal. A goal for the Crusaders.
Goal, Jesuit, number 2, Christian Bach.
And that is the second goal of the game for number 2, Christian Bach. (23-5). By the way, Dave, that makes the scoring in the second half 9-0, Jesuit.
On a running clock.
What's that?
On a running clock.
On a running clock.
Again, the biggest battle on Saturday is going to be face-offs. Luke Johnson, Jake Reichel.
Wow, that'll be a great matchup to watch.
Last year in the championship game, Lake Ridge got the dub. Jesuit has used that as a motivator to work harder and get better throughout this year.
Well, they've done it.
Definitely one of the stronger Oregon high school lacrosse teams of all time.
Circling in front of the net, the Crusaders. The ball comes out, back out to midfield. It will be Lake Oswego ball.
Teaching moment right there on that restart. If you pick the ball up there, you want to run away from the substitution box. Defenders with the big sticks running out from the substitution box. Go the other way. Think about it before you pick the ball up. Invert now from Lake Oswego, attacking on the short stick. Quick slide from Jesuit to change the matchup and a takeaway. Nice stick control from the Jesuit defenders. They do a really good job here of playing aggressively but under control.
Lakers still with the ball. In front, hard check. Jesuit comes up with the ball. Quickly ahead. They go right to work in the middle.
And they pull it out. They had a 6-on-4 fast break there.
And they turned it and pulled it back. Crusaders down the left side. Back behind the net, spins around, shoots, and scores. Circled the net, came around and threw it right by the goalie. Number 29, that's Deuce Bechtold. His first goal of the game.
He's a freshman.
Freshman? Well, semifinals, he has a goal. He can go home and tell mom and dad tonight. Probably doesn't have to go home and tell them. They're probably here. (24-5). 9-0 here. That matches the 9 goals they scored in the first quarter. I'm sorry, not that's 9 goals here in the second half.
Another invert isolation play behind.
Back behind the net.
Again, running out of the single invert. Minute 45 in the game.
Time flies when the clock's running. Crusaders, and they'll send it back out on top.
Looks like they're in a bit of a victory formation at this point.
Crusaders still with the ball back behind the net. Have the lead at 24-5. Everybody just kind of waiting for this one to end, I think.
What happens a lot of times in this situation is the guy with the ball gets slashed a lot. I think it's probably for the best that we're just letting this one run out at this point.
And that's what appears to be going on. So.
Yeah. Final 10 seconds ticking down now. Looks like your final will be 24-5 Jesuit. And the Crusaders advance to meet Lake Ridge in the finals on Saturday.
All right, Jesuit wins this one 24-5. Let me give you some interesting statistics. We'll start with the scoring by quarter. Lake Oswego, 3 in the first, 2 in the second, none in the second half. For Jesuit, 9 in the first, 5 in the second, 7 in the third, and 3 in the fourth. It was 14-5 at the end of the halftime. It's 24-5. 7 goals in the game for Jack Duncan Bloom. The Crusaders win. They'll face the Lake Ridge Pacers Saturday afternoon at 5:30 back here at Wilsonville High School. Dave, your final thoughts?
Jesuit does a great job of sharing the ball. And they control face-offs. Their defense seems great, but honestly hasn't been tested to the degree of, playing teams with similar skilled offenses as theirs. I think that Saturday's game, a lot of it's going to come down to face-offs and ground balls. That's where Lake Ridge can make a game of it. When they played earlier in the season, Jake Reichel was not in the game because of injuries, so that could be a very different story.
All right. Hope you're looking forward to that as much as we are. Again, that's 5:30 on Saturday night here at Wilsonville High School. Got some people I want to thank. I want to thank Wilsonville High School and their staff for their hospitality. I want to thank all of the 4 coaches tonight. They've got information from all of them. I want to thank our crew tonight, our engineer director, Alva Myers, our cameraman, our producer, Ryan Johnson, my broadcast partner, Dave Sanford. And Dave, I'll give you a chance for a final thought.
Great to see all these boys get out there and compete. One of these games was close. One of these games wasn't. What you saw through both games was a lot of hard, aggressive, sportsmanlike play. That's what this game is really all about. They call it the creator's game. And the way these guys went out and competed today, I feel like they truly did honor the spirit of the creator. We hope that you will join us either in person or online here again on Saturday.
All right. I'm Dave Hall. Our final scores tonight in these two semifinal matchups was Lake Ridge 7, Westland 6, and it was Jesuit 24, Lake Oswego 5. That sets our matchup for Saturday night at 5:30. Again, I'll remind you, we are Oregon Sports Beat. You can find us at OregonSportsBeat.com. We put calendars up with our schedule of what games we have and what times we have for the entire month. You can go look at that and see. So I want you to join us Saturday, and we'll bring you more lacrosse action. From Wilsonville High School, our two winners tonight, Lake Ridge and Jesuit. Good night, everybody.